any business in Hartford at all, do you?
Not that we knew of at the time.
You knew that he built large homes, right?
Yes.
But you don't know whether he owned or built in Hartford, do you?
Did not know at that time.
And you didn't know if he had any dumpsters available at that time either, did you?
Did not know at that time.
When you drove past 4 Jefferson Crossing, you didn't see a dumpster,
No.
did you? There was a for sale sign there, though, wasn't there? In front of his house.
At
From
4?
the pictures we saw.
At 4? I can't remember if there was a for sale sign at 4 back then, back in May 24th.
Okay, so we're talking about that Memorial Day
Yep.
weekend, right? Correct?
Correct.
And you did go past 80 Mountain Spring Road, right?
Yes.
And you knew that was a house that was being built or had just been built by the Ford Group as of that date, right?
Yes.
And you, in fact, testified on Friday that you saw one of those large banner for sale signs showing the Ford Group in the picture, right?
Yeah, something similar, yes.
And you couldn't remember if it was actually in front of the house or by the street, but you remember something similar like that outside.
I remember there was something down by the road, the base of the driveway. I couldn't tell you what was up by the house.
Well, indicating the house was for sale, right?
Right.
And as of that date, did you know whether or not there were showings at that house on 80 Mountain Spring
No, I
Road?
did not know.
You were also testifying on Friday that there were different kinds of cars that you believed were, quote, I think you used the word, affiliated with, unquote, Mr. Doulos. Is that right?
I would say that's right, yes.
You mentioned a red Tacoma as one of those cars. Remember saying that?
Yes, sir.
Now, as of Memorial Day weekend, you didn't know anything about a red Tacoma belonging to one of Mr. Doulos's employees, did you?
Yes.
That weekend you found out about
Yes, that
it?
Sunday. Or I'm sorry, that Monday. Not the weekend, but the Monday.
Okay, but when you were driving around on, I think you said the weekend,
No,
right?
yes.
You were looking for cameras and whatnot, right? You didn't know anything at that point about.
Not on Sunday, about the red truck.
Okay. And you knew that belonged to an employee of Mr. Doulos named
We learned that on Monday.
Right. Named Pavel Gumieni,
Yes, yes. Just, it wasn't registered to Pavel.
It was registered, well, that's another.
It wasn't registered to Pavel.
Pavel's wife,
Yes,
correct?
correct.
It was not registered to Mr. Doulos, was it?
No.
Wasn't registered to Michelle Troconis, and it wasn't registered to the Ford Group, the company.
No.
Did you look into any other vehicles that were owned by other employees of the Ford Group at that time?
Yes, we did.
That weekend?
That weekend, when we set up our command post, we put every employee that was listed on the Ford Group website on our whiteboard. And we looked into every employee, and in fact, we sent leads out that weekend to start interviewing those employees. And part of that process, when we put them on the whiteboard, is to gather intelligence through law enforcement databases and searches to determine what vehicles people drive, where they live, what their phone numbers are, et cetera.
Were you looking for other vehicles of the other employees as you drove along Albany Avenue on Route 44?
No.
And you did know that that red Tacoma was about 20 years old, correct? It was
Yes.
a 2001 Tacoma, right?
Yes.
And were you aware that it was leaking oil and was in bad condition?
Very aware.
Incidentally, you didn't look for any leaking oil along the route you were traveling, did you?
No. I mean, there's multiple vehicles that drive routes. There's multiple oil stains all over the roads.
But these are all things you learned a little bit later, is that correct?
Well, that Monday, I learned about the Tacoma through a neighborhood canvas. So we put that vehicle on our list of vehicles on that Monday.
By the way, you didn't know whether Mr. Doulos had ever been known to dump construction garbage at locations where he should not have been doing that, did you?
Not that day, no.
On any day?
No, never.
Now, in your career as a state trooper, have you ever had to investigate an illegal dumping case,
No.
even as a road trooper?
No.
Isn't that something the state police sometimes investigate?
Sometimes, I mean, mostly like debris on the highway, people throw couches out along the highways and such like that.
No, you ever seen contractors doing that so they don't have to pay for a dumpster?
No.
Never.
No.
And so that we're clear, you said that when you saw the camera on the Jamaican restaurant awning, you said you referred it to, I think you said Troop L. Is that what you said?
Yes.
You mean Troop H in
No,
Hartford?
Troop L, Western District Major Crime Field Office.
Well, wasn't Troop H just right down the street from where the Albany Avenue is? Like maybe 6
Washington, I
blocks?
think it's on Washington in Hartford.
Yeah, isn't Washington, it's right near the Capitol, right?
Yes.
And you didn't contact them?
No.
And incidentally, on May 31st, 2023, was Detective Fitzsimons assigned to the Western District Major Crime Squad?
On May 31st? What year
I'm
did you
sorry,
say?
let me rephrase that. On May 25th and 6th, when you asked him to go look for cameras.
He was assigned to Western District Major
was.
Crime Squad, yes.
And was he assigned as a detective or as a trooper at that?
Detective in the Troop L Field Office.
I just have a moment.
Okay.
Judge.
Yes.
Nothing further, thank you.
Sergeant May, step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
If I may call it Mike Fitzsimons, please. If I may have a moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm this case may be that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and spell it for the record.
Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, Fitzsimons, F-I-T-Z-S-I-M-O-N-S.
You may be seated.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Your Honor, may I inquire?
Yes.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Mr. Fitzsimons, did you previously work for the Connecticut State Police?
Yes, I did for 25 years.
Okay. When did you part company with the Connecticut
It
State
will
Police?
be 2 years, March of this year.
Okay. Did you retire?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And at what rank did you retire at?
Detective.
And was there a particular division of the Connecticut State Police that you worked at when you retired?
The Western District Major Crime Squad.
And what troop were you assigned to?
I was assigned to the Troop L office,
Who was your supervisor?
Sergeant Al Bisson.
And could you briefly just describe to the jury some of your training and experience as a Connecticut State Police officer?
Initially, I was hired by the state police. I attended the State Police Academy. There we're trained and tested in all the academia skills and procedures necessary to become certified as a police officer. I successfully completed the training academy. When I graduated the academy, I was assigned as a patrol trooper. I was initially stationed at Troop L up in Litchfield. I was there for approximately 8 years. Throughout my 25 years, I've had several assignments from when I was a canine handler and a member of our state police tactical unit and an instructor at the academy as a firearms instructor. But a majority of my career, actually 16 years of my career, I was with the Western District Major Crime Squad.
Thank you, sir. If I could just have one moment.
Yes.
Simons, were you working with the Western District Major Crimes Squad in May of 2019?
Yes, I was.
And what troop were you assigned to again? Where were you headquartered out of?
I was with the Troop L office, which is also located at the Western District headquarters.
And is that in
Again, the
Litchfield?
Western District is comprised of, as far as the major crime offices and the troops, are 4 offices and 4 troops. And again, we kind of work all in concert together.
Did you observe this while you were on C4 property?
I did.
And did you inform anybody after what you saw on this?
Yeah, again, I notified my supervisor.
Did you actually go to Albany Avenue, sir?
No.
Okay. Now, do you recall what time of day this was that you watched these videos?
I believe it was around 3 p.m.
And after watching these videos and informing your sergeant, did you review other video from C4?
I did.
And what video did you review?
There was more video of the corner of Albany and Garden, and it was played up till I think the 26th of May.
Why did you look for Albany and Garden video?
That was a garbage can that we saw trash placed in, and we were just interested to see if it had been picked up already by the garbage service in the city.
Just to be clear, the video you watched of the trash being placed in trash was placed in on what day?
The 24th,
Okay, and you watched it on which date?
the 30th.
Okay. Did you when you watched the video from the 24th, how far did you get, or how long did you watch the video for to determine if the trash had been picked up from that garbage can?
It was determined that particular garbage can was picked up on the 28th.
Okay. How do you know that?
We could see the garbage truck picking up the garbage can.
So did you watch the video for that
Yeah.
time?
Yes.
Okay, and do you know what time the trash can came and picked up that video?
I'd have to reference my report for the exact time on the 28th.
Do you have any idea, or would you refresh your recollection, take a look at your report?
It would refresh my recollection
Okay.
if I could look at that.
If I may have a moment, Your Honor. If I may just approach the clerk.
Yes.
Sir, I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 38 for ID. I'm going to draw your attention to the second page, last paragraph. Please don't read it out loud. Take a minute and take a look at that, please.
Okay, look, about 4:10 p.m. is when it got picked up.
It was PM or AM? It doesn't, or does it not say?
It doesn't say.
So, do it,
So it does say hours. So maybe 4:10 a.m.
okay, if I can have that back. Are you sure for 10 AM? Or
Yeah, yeah.
Could I have that marked for ID, please?
It is.
Oh, thank you. And what's the number?
It is 38. Now, in your review of that video, sir, that was Albany and Green? or I'm sorry, Albany and Garden?
Albany and Garden.
Yes. Did you watch it to see, or were you aware of any video of anybody else rifling through that garbage can?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to asking this witness to characterize what was being seen in the videos. The jury saw it, they can speak for themselves.
Well, the question is, did you observe anyone else rifling through the trash?
I apologize, Your Honor. I will rephrase. Sir, did you see anybody else go through that garbage can?
Yes.
Okay. At what time or when, I should say?
It was on the 26th of May, sometime around 6 a.m. If I could reference my report, I could give you a more accurate time.
May I first report to Your Honor?
Yes.
Sir, case 939 for ID. Again, please draw your attention to page 2. You can, don't read it out loud, just take a look and see if that refreshes your recollection as to the time.
Okay, it does.
And what was the time?
6:51 a.m.
May I have it? I'm going to draw your attention to states 37. Please take a look. I'm gonna play, please, Albany and Garden. $650.25. Sir, just without asking you anything, without saying anything anybody said or anything like that, just yes or no, sir, were you able to find the identity of who that person was?
We were.
Okay. That's all I have at this time. Thank you.
I just would like to just look at the reports for a minute. Do you have one there in front of you? Or not?
No, I don't.
Sir, I just have like a couple of questions. So you had the snippets from these C4 video downloaded onto some kind of drive for you, correct?
Correct.
Was that on a flash drive, a DVD? What was it given to you on?
I believe it was a flash drive.
Did you pick what you wanted to have downloaded?
They had already assembled a footage of this vehicle's travels on Albany Ave. That's what I took.
Oh, so they didn't make you sit there and watch like 24 or 48 hours of video yourself?
Well, no, we were watching the truck, yeah.
And then when you say they, who's they was watching?
Oh, the analysts at C4 that were assisting.
Right, so we didn't look to see if anyone else came by or anyone else went through or dropped anything off besides that, correct?
Correct.
And I just want to be clear about the garbage truck you mentioned. You saw in one of the videos a garbage truck pick up trash along Albany Avenue and that, at least some of those receptacles, right?
One of them, yeah.
And that was on May, you said 28th?
Correct.
According to the time, right?
According to the time.
Did you actually download that video as well?
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you.
Just one. Sir, with respect to the garbage truck that you saw, did you see that garbage truck stop at what location and pick up trash?
That was Albany and Garden.
Okay, but you didn't see it pick up trash at the other locations?
I didn't.
Thank you.
Did you watch the multiple days from the 24th to 28th to see if any others got picked up?
No.
Thank you.
Nothing further.
Mr. Atmore, you may step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, with respect to our next witness, I believe he was told to come for 1. We're ending the morning a little early.
So you expect him for 2 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You can finish playing it. Are you familiar with something known as WeatherTech liner?
Yes, I am.
What is WeatherTech liner?
They're laser cut floor liners. I actually own a pair myself. The company is here in the United States, and they basically make custom floor liners for a multitude of different vehicles, makes, models, and years and whatnot. They make front and rear floor liners, utility area liners, seat covers, etc. Yeah, the commercials are all over TV.
And what material are WeatherTech liners made out of?
A black rubber material, or a hardened plastic, I guess would probably be a better description. But the mats in the back are more rubber. I think the floor liners where your feet go are harder, but the ones for the back are a little more flexible, I guess is how I describe them.
And when you say in the back, what area of the vehicle are you referring to?
The cargo
Your Honor,
area.
I'm going to object foundation, the fact that he might own an SUV or might know something about it, it's irrelevant, and he's not an expert in this area. He doesn't work for the WeatherTech or any other company that installs mats. So therefore, I would argue that this is not an appropriate question.
Well, the question has to do with what does WeatherTech manufacture? That's how the court understands the question. And if he's familiar with, this witness is familiar with what WeatherTech manufactures, the court will allow the testimony. So, overruled.
When you mention the back, what area of the vehicle are you referring to?
The cargo area, the utility area, the back of an SUV behind the seats.
Did there come a point in time where you reviewed additional surveillance footage in which the person who appeared to be the same male operator discarded additional items?
Yes.
Can you describe that for the jury?
Yes. So the final stop that the individual appearing to be Mr. Doulos made was on Albany Avenue in front of a Jamaican bakery, I believe at the intersection of Blue Hills Avenue. He exited his vehicle with what appeared to be maybe a pile of papers or something.
Again, Your Honor,
I don't know what it was.
I'm objecting. What appears, again, is the same thing. If it's not recovered.
Well, he just indicated he did not know what it was. So perhaps you did not hear that part of his response. He said it appears to be paper. I don't know what it was, is what he said. He exited his vehicle with, I don't know what it was. That's the testimony. So that's overruled.
So he exited the vehicle with unknown objects, something in his hands. I just couldn't make out what. And he walked over to the trash receptacle and he discarded whatever that unknown object or group of objects were. However, another object remained in his hand that he did not discard in the garbage. And at C4, they have very large screen TVs, much like this one, and they can zoom in. And when we zoomed in, Mr. Quinton and myself were of the opinion that it looked
Objection.
Well, sustained.
When you zoomed in, were you able to see the colors of the object discarded in the sewer more clearly?
Yes.
Can you describe to the jury what color the object was?
So the object overall looked white, and we saw like orange and blue on the object. And I could say what that, to me, that looked like, but
No, that's all right.
okay.
Now, actually, we're just, if we could play that portion of the video. We could pause it right there. Sergeant Butin, I just want to direct your attention now to the vehicle itself. Does it appear as though a female passenger has exited the vehicle at this
I'm
point?
going to object. First of all, it's a mischaracterization. Nobody's exited it. And second of all, we're again having him characterize what's on the video that all of these jurors can see. I would submit that under State versus Holly, it's improper for a lay witness to narrate a video when he wasn't present for the incident.
So if I can just be heard on this, Your Honor, and if I have to be heard at sidebar, I will, but I'd like to make an offer of proof to the court.
Well, the question is, does it appear to you as if a female is exiting the Raptor? That's the question. So does it appear to you that a female passenger is exiting the Raptor? Well, the question itself, you can be heard, counsel, the question itself is an interpretive narrative. What the court and the jury is able to see is a door open, someone leaning out of that door. The issue of whether it's a female and whether she's exiting in the common sense of exiting as in getting out of the vehicle, according to this video, would be a mischaracterization.
I'll rephrase, Judge.
so
Can you just,
sustained.
at this point, the video is paused. Can you, directing your attention now to the individual just above the male operator, can you describe that individual for the jury?
Again, Your Honor, I think the image speaks for itself. And this witness is not in any better position than the jurors to see what's in the video.
Well,
In fact, maybe
you can sharpen the question, counsel. Can you describe the individual? What is seen here? You cannot tell height or weight. So what can be described from what is on the video is fairly limited. If that's the video from which you are asking the question.
It is, Your Honor. I'm just simply asking him to describe what he's observing on the video.
Well, what the court is going to do is listen to the description and entertain any objections after that.
Could you describe the individual above the male operator?
Yes. So it appears to be a white female. Looks like wearing a short sleeve shirt, and it's kind of hard to tell, but maybe her hair is in a ponytail. And I could see at least one of her feet on the sidewalk, and her right hand appears to be reaching down toward the brick or pavement.
Was this the only time that you observed a female with this particular male individual in the surveillance footage?
On this footage, yes.
Keep playing. Sergeant Butin, where on Albany Avenue is this particular trash receptacle and store located?
I believe the address is 1344 Albany Avenue. It's at the intersection of Blue Hills.
Based on what you saw on this video, can you describe for the jury what actions you took?
Yes. So, as I stated earlier, the individual appearing to be Mr. Doulos threw some items.
I'm going to
or
object.
an
The
item
question was, what did you do next? And instead, he's giving another narrative.
Well, the question is, well, what did you do after reviewing the video? And he began by saying, the individual who appeared to be Mr. Doulos, this is preliminary, as the court hears it, overruled.
The fact that I observed that individual throw those things out in the trash receptacle, but choose to discard whatever the other object was down the storm drain was interesting to me. And I wanted to try to recover whatever that was. And so I inquired with the C4 folks about who maintained the storm drain and who we would use to assist us in recovering that item. And the answer I was given was NBC. Which is the Metropolitan District Control, or the water authority essentially for the greater Hartford area. They sent out a pump truck to us out on the street.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
Did you head to this area of Albany Avenue?
Yes.
Mark, that white spot was.
No, sir.
Now, it said something that I wanted to follow up on it. I'm curious about that. You said that someone took it away. Is that right?
That's my understanding, yes.
Did you see in any of the C4 cameras that you were watching anyone pick up that item and cart it away?
No, sir. That was information that was relayed to me by other individuals.
Well, I'm asking about you.
Me personally, no. I didn't see that.
And through all the time you spent, how many hours did you spend at the Capitol Command Center there looking at?
I don't remember specifically. It wasn't terribly long. They had reviewed the footage in detail, and what they went over with me were the stops that he made. And we kind of honed in on the last one because we knew the storm drain had not been checked. And so that was kind of my focus, if you will, was that particular stop.
Okay, fair enough. And just so we're also clear, from the video you saw, you could not tell whether that rolled up item was carpeting or plastic or rubber or any particular material. Is that right?
It could have been anything. It could have been anything. There's no way to actually ever know unless I actually went there and put my hands on it.
And although Mr. McGinnis kept talking about WeatherTech, it could have been any brand of any kind of plastic or rubber mat, right?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Did anyone ever recover that mat?
Not to my knowledge, no.
The C4 camera continued to look in that same location, right? It was fixed at that same spot where the camera observed the Raptor pull up and something get taken out of the back and put there, right?
The camera did capture that, yes.
And did the camera continue to run for the next several days?
My understanding is those cameras run 24/7.
The time that, and when did you, just so I'm clear about the date, when did you go to the location on Albany Avenue with the MDC sewer pump truck?
The date?
The date.
Friday, May the 31st.
Okay, that was the day. And did you go yourself and look through any of the C4 cameras, even fast forward, to see where and when that rolled up item went?
No, sir, I was not assigned to do that.
I take it when you were there at that location, you didn't see it there, right?
No, sir, I did not.
Let me just have a moment. I have no further questions.
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you, Sergeant Butin. You may step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Judge, we will be recalling the sergeant later in the trial.
And are there any other state witnesses to be called today?
Not today, Your Honor.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have concluded the testimony for today. And for tomorrow, Attorney McGinnis